Hi everyone, it's Kay from the Paper Shed. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for coming back and joining me again today. I do appreciate it. I am so glad to be back. I've been AWOL for 5 months, so not crafting very much at all. I've been doing other little bits to keep me occupied, but nothing other than welcoming our grandchildren. We welcomed a newborn little girl, Aubrey Kay, and she is absolutely beautiful. I was so glad that I was there, when she was born, and we now have 2 more pregnancies on the go. So they're all cooking well, and by next summer we'll have grandchild number 14. So it's getting more and more expensive as time goes on, but they're all beautiful, they're all gorgeous, and they are the future. So but I am so happy to be back at my desk. And what a collaboration. We have SunflowersAndDors and LineDotArrow. That's taken such a long time for them to get together, but it's been well worth it, the wait, because these kits are fantastic. I've spent, after 24 hours delay for the flight coming home, which made us a day late, I managed to get everything organised and printed off and sorted to try and catch up. And then I had a day where I literally did all of my fussy cutting. I'll show you. So all my fussy cutting for Mandy's kit is in there. All my fussy cutting for Nathalie's kit is in there. The kits are on offer for the whole of November. If you don't purchase the kits, there are fantastic freebies available on both Facebook pages. So do go across, get yourself sorted and join in, because it's going to be fabulous. We do have challenges going on through the next 3 weeks of November. Obviously, I'm late to the party, but I am going to try and catch up. So I've been trying to get my head around what I'm going to do. And because I'm part of the design team, thank you, Mandy, I do appreciate it, which I'm thrilled about. And this will be my first design project for Mandy's design team, or to be part of Mandy's design team. So I want to incorporate the two. So what I thought I would do is, I'll give you a flip through of those in just a sec, because I want your help. I want to decide whether to do a full journal. And I made these covers before I left the UK, so they've been made a while. But I found this one which would fit perfectly. It's just writing, and we could do something with that. Or I did think of a flippy flappy. Now, I've made these before. This front cover design is part of Fiona at Miss P, or Miss Paint a Lot. She did these a few years ago, and I've used this several times on folios. So I've designed a folio inside. Now the whole folio itself is made out of 2 full sheets of A4. Now if you're US, just use the US, and the remainder of what will be left can still be incorporated. So you just need 2 full sheets to make the full base of this. I've sort of made notes in here of what I'm going to do with it, or how I'm going to design it as I go through. There's flippy flappies everywhere, there's pockets, there's loads of things going on. And so that was my second idea. So I don't know whether to do that one or this one. They're just to show you how the 2 pieces go together. Which obviously, if we go that far, I will give you the measurements and score lines for all of that, if we decide to go down that route. So please do advise me on what you want to do. And we can get something going on with this so that I can move forward. And once I find out, I will obviously do another video with the dimensions and everything for what it is we're doing. So just to go through the papers, they are fabulous actually. I'm sorry, I've got my library, week 1 library thing to do yet, and that's what I'll be doing later on in this video. But for now, I'll just give you a quick flip through of Mandy's kit. I have done both sides because I was planning on to use this as a journal. but this kit is absolutely stunning. And Nathalie's kit, which features this lovely blue, has got some beautiful papers going on. You can find these both in their coffee and on both of the Facebook groups. They are to purchase from Mandy's will be to purchase from Etsy. I'm not sure about LineDotArrow. I think she does it through Ko-fi or Etsy. I don't know, but all the information will be down below for anything that you need with regards to both of these kits. So let me just pop those out of the way for now, and then we can get on. I did manage while I was away to get hold of some of Crafted by Tony's new stamps, and I'm absolutely thrilled. I can't wait to have a play with those. So we will be making up some clusters and different things. So I will be using that librarian stamp there to make a few bits, I suspect. This is all my fussy cutting. It's all done. I've just got to ink it, which I'll spend tonight doing that. So that's done. And then what I'll do is I'll come back and we will get on with our week 1 challenge, which is a unique library card. So I'm going to go away, get my thinking cap on, and I'll be back shortly. Okay, so I'm back. I've had a bit of a play. I've done a bit of inking and got a few things together that I think I can use. I've got my splatter thing out because I wanted to just splatter the backs of these rather than cover them. So if you haven't seen that before, I'll do a bit of that with a couple of these that I'm going to be using. So I've already tested it out. This colour, I've decided that I was going with Scorched Timber because it's nice and dark, and I really want to do this grungy feel to everything. I mean, I love this. Look at that. So I've sort of just bent a couple over and used my sander and cut it a little bit here, and then edged it. Now it is quite dark, the Scorched Timber, but I started using it now, so I'm going to continue with that. It's a little bit too dark, but it doesn't matter. We will live with it. And look at that. So I just love it. Look at the grunge. So the challenge for week 1 was a unique library card. And because we've got library cards, these are library cards here with the author title, date and borrower's name. So there's several of those to use from the kit. And we've also got this one that's been made up. So I thought what I would do is I would do the library identity card, which is the card that you produce when you go to the library to take out your books. So I thought I'd do that in a vintage style. So I thought I'd do these pockets only because whichever one we choose to do, whether we do the journal or whether we do the folio, this pocket will fit. So I've sort of already done that, and all I've really done is I've just tore down the edge to create a slant, and then I dibby-dabbied some paper or some card stock and created that to go on the top. I just wanted a nice sort of border around it, and then I will use that to put my my library cards in and my ID, maybe for the front or near to the front of the book. I'm probably going to use this little pocket because it matches with that. Might not put that in there, but that matches with that, so I'm going to probably use those two. And that's probably it, to be honest. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to recreate this. Now I've picked out, it's just a Tim Holtz photo booth picture, and I've had to cut him down quite small for him to be able to fit. I did actually rip it slightly when I was using my tearer, but I don't mind that. I want to make it as scrunched up and old as possible. So I'm starting with a piece of card. Now I'm going to do mine this way purely because that's probably the way that it would have gone into a drawer, you know, when the library drawers that they have in the library in the olden days. And this card is 4 by 3.5. Now, I didn't want to go too much bigger because this one is just a smidge bigger and smaller, should I say. So it's just got a border all the way around. So I thought that that would be about the right size. Now, I don't know for sure. I'm going to be using some stamps. I'm going to be using this one, which has got signatures on, and I'm going to be using Crafty by Tony's library stamps, her new ones. So I'm going to be using those two. To use a stamp, I'm going to need some Stapon or some Versifying. I'm going to probably use red, and I will be using buff for that. So I'll get those out and we'll get on. So first of all, I want to sort of make this a bit more dirty. So I thought what I would do is I'm using this brushed corduroy as a little bit of for a little bit of splatter, but it's just really to dirty it up. So I'm just going to do that while we are chatting. I don't want to do too much because it is quite a dark colour. I don't mind mopping up the back either, and then you can use it as a journal space. So I think that'll do. We'll just leave that to dry while I edge it in my scorched timber. Now I do want to sort of make these edges a bit when it's damp because it'll come off easier. And then I probably will bend that over and possibly do that. Probably should have done it with a white card really, but I have this at hand, so that's what I'm using. So I'm just going to ink around the edges here. I'm just going to make some of these a little bit darker, these edges. I just want some darker bits. I've done it there. Okay, so I think that'll be a good to start. Now all I did with this was I just cut it round to the size that I wanted it. I used my scissors just to go down the edges there, just to rough those up a bit. Ripped a little bit, smooched over that with the sander, and then just went round it with a bit of ink. So that's all I did with the photograph, which we're going to need. And then I think I need that to dry really. So I think what we'll do, I also need to look that out now. I've told you what size it is, which was a 4 by 3.5. Otherwise I will forget. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do, that will fit in either one of these pockets when it's on, probably the back. And I think what we need is a date first. So I think what we'll do is I've got a date stamp somewhere. I do need that identification card there. I don't need it yet. And that hasn't got actual, it's got date of entry. I wonder if I can use just the date part of that on here. Piece of paper stuck. And I'll just the archival, and I just want to ink the date up. I don't want anything else, just the date, and I want that to be there. There we go. Oh, I should have got a baby wipe. It's a pain when you do it like this. Anyway, we'll do what we can. So that can go back onto here, wherever that was. Date of entry, there it is. And then I don't think there's any dates on there, but I do have a date somewhere else. We could write it in actually, couldn't we? Yeah, maybe do that. So we've got the date. We need public library. I want that to go on the top. Public library. Now I have noticed. Want it straight. Okay, so I've got my public library there, which I'm going to ink up. Now this is the first time using these, so I might need to. I'm going to put that. Do I put that out here? That'll do. And then we want some sort of address. Some sort of address. Do I have anything on there? I don't really think I do. I have got, oh, I have, yeah, I've got an address there. It's supposedly the address of the library. Still also a date on one of my other ones. Just put that there. I'm almost sure I had a date. Was it on? Oh, I got these two out, didn't I? Oh, there it is. I've got it on here. So there's a date on this one, so we'll open this one as well. This is the recorded. And it says, is there anything else? Oh, there is a date there. I don't know whether that would be too big, would it? Should have put that on first. Would have looked better. But then it would be New York. I don't really want it to be in New York. Okay, so we'll just use the date, which is the 28th of September. And I can't see what the year is. I'm going to pop that there. It doesn't actually say a year. And I could have probably written that in if I wanted to. Okay, I probably don't need that again. Then what we need is, I'm going to do a present this card, which is there. And put it under there, just so it looks, put it upside down. Never mind, we're not going to notice that, are we? It just looks like it's an extension of the address, which is fine. the other address really. Then we want identification card, which is on this one. Might actually be a bit too big, but we'll go with what we've got. And I think, let's just see, I think I'm going to go over here. There we go. And then I think what we'll do is we'll put his name. And we will pop that back onto there. Oh no, they're all falling off. I just want to know, I wonder if I've got a name or just a, need to write it in, I think. So I'm going to draw a line. Yeah, I think. So I'm going to draw a line. I need to sort of make sure that I can get this on. I think I'm going to draw a line here. Oh, I'm bummed that that's okay. And that's going to be his name, which I'm going to just write in. And let's find a signature first, which I'm going to put down the side. We've got something with signature on. We've got an ID number, confirmed by, and an ID number, which may be all we need. There's nothing on that one. It might just be that that's all we need. So I've got this specimen one, and I've got a confirmed by, which I want at the bottom. So we'll do that one. Get it around the right way, okay? Because that one actually fit down here. Lovely. And then I think we'll use the ID number and the line for the signature side, which I'm going to do up the side of that card, because I think it will fit. Just want the line to be sort of straight. Yeah. Okay. So I want that to go there. Yes. We've had all we need off of that one now. I do love stamps, but it just really does take time to sort them out. So we need a signature. Yeah. So we need a signature for him, which will go with that one, which I'm going to put here. I don't mind that it's going to go over that, because I'm just going to stick his number. Yeah, I am. But that's a short one anyway. One is actually quite long. They're all about the same or longer, so we're going to have to go with this one. So I'm just going to go there. And then we'll put a short number on there. think, because we haven't got an ID number on there yet. We'll put a short number on, which I think is off of here, which is there. I should have brought that down a little bit more, I think. Yeah, because he's got to go there. Bounce. I'm going to just stick it under there. And that goes in there. And then I think we'll just go with this sort of public notice thing. And we're just going to put that here. Yeah, like that. We need another signature for this confirmed by, so that needs to be a different signature. Just going to pop that one again. There. And we're just going to get another signature. Well, not one bit. Just about, but maybe this one. Yeah. We'll go with that one. Because it's totally different from the other one. There we go. Get back on there. Okay, so I think I've finished with that one now as well. And then I think all I'm going to do then, just to finish it off, I just need to write his name in there. And I'm going to call him Mr. Augustus. I'm going to have to go with an E because there's an E there. E. Silco. Okay. And then we need a thin number and an expiry. And then we're going to fit him right in there. And then I think that will be it. So I'm going to do a thin number, which that's quite thin. There. Perfect. And then we just need an expiry date, which we haven't got. So I think I'm going to just write that in as well. And I know this was September, so we're just going to do 17th of September 1940. There we go. Perfect. And then the last thing to do, could lift that up just to cover that mistake. No, because you can still see it, it doesn't cover it up perfectly. I'm going to just put this library stamp on, just in red. So we'll cover that up. We'll get the red out, and we'll just stick this library stamp on. We're just going to put that here. Perfect. I don't mind that it hasn't all gone on perfectly. Okay. I think we're finished with that one. So all that's left to do is to stick this photograph down, and we have our identification card. So Okay, just line that up there and there. Stick that in nicely. There we go. Oh, I like it. I think it sort of does need a little bit more distressing, maybe. Maybe a rip in it somewhere here. Still didn't rip it, did I? There we go. I'm going to take a chunk out of it, I think. There we go. Just open that up just slightly. Oh yeah. Yes, I like that a lot. So we'd have our pocket on our page with our double pocket there. We'd have our library card, our identification card in here. Then we would have a I'm going to put that behind it now because I want that to be the focal. And then I was thinking of popping this pocket on and popping this one in here. It's not the focal anymore, is it? It's too big. Maybe just put in something smaller. Or maybe nothing at all. Look at the tags. I just want you to be able to see him. So that's going to go on my page like that. And I'm actually going to call it done. So that's my pocket. This is my ID card. What do you actually think? I like it. I actually quite enjoy making these sort of things. Because they're completely unique, aren't they? In a way. So I like it. There you go. Isn't it cool? I actually quite like the fact as well that it's stained. Maybe I could have done with a coffee stain on there. But no, I'm going to leave it like that. I actually quite like it. I think it's grunged enough, do you? Dog-eared, ripped. Yeah, loving it. So I really enjoyed making that. I'm going to carry on and crack on with week 2, which is the week we're on now, which is a notebook or bookmark. I'm probably going to make a notebook and a bookmark, and I'll bring you that video hopefully very soon. I'm going to wait, I think, a little while to see if I get any response from this video to see what I'm working in, whether it's the folio or whether it's the journal. So do please send me a message to say what you would prefer to see, and yeah, I'll make that decision in the next few days. So thanks for watching. I really enjoyed making this identification card, and it is quite unique. Mr. Augustus Silco, love it. So yeah, thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.